All right, guys. Joe McDonough here with Cage Side Press. I'm joined today by Canadian prospect Anthony Romero, undefeated. He will be competing on the White Contender Series, season 4 this August. Anthony, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
So, first off, I think something I've been asking all fighters that I've been interviewing, quarantine's a little bit lifting, at least here in America, maybe wrongfully so. But what have you been doing throughout your quarantine to stay sane? Have you been training? Have you picked up any hobbies? Have you just been sleeping? What have you been doing?
I've just been training here at home. I made like a little gym in my backyard. I got a bag, got weights. I got my little brother. He's a boxer, so he holds pads for me. And then I'm just chatting with my coaches online. We're breaking down fights, and yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on. Yeah, nothing new, nothing special.
So pretty much same old for you. Just been training and living every day like.
Yeah, pretty much just enjoying life. Some trips to Walmart, get some food, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome, man. So, what's it like to get that call? I mean, to know that in August you're going to be fighting at the UFC Apex, you're going to be fighting for a contract in the UFC, a dream of yours. Just take me through hearing that and what's going through your mind when you hear that.
Yeah, at the time, like I'm super excited, I'm super pumped, but I also have to remember that I still have to accomplish a goal that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I don't want to be distracted by anything. My goal is the same; it's just another fight, and obviously there's a little cherry on top at the end, but yeah, my focus is the same, just like in every fight.
Absolutely. And so last year you were set to compete on Dana White Contender Series. You ended up not doing that. You have fought all of your fights except for one with the King of the Cage. And the rumor is that promotion wouldn't let you go over and fight with Dana White Contender Series, which seems odd to me because most local promotions would want their fighter to have that coming from them to the UFC. So, take me through that.
Yeah, so the exact same thing was supposed to happen. I had the opportunity. I believe I was 5-0 at the time to go on the Contender Series. Unfortunately, due to my contract with King of the Cage, I wasn't able to, and it is my fault at the end of the day, and the management I had at the time, that I didn't read the contract thoroughly and to see if I did have that out clause to let me go if there was anything, any opportunities elsewhere. So I finished the contract just like I signed for, and thankfully I'm ready to go, and my dream's gonna come true, and yeah, just a year later, but it's all good.
And so, like you said, you're fighting these local promotions. To go through that and not really speak up and kind of say, okay, I've got a job here to do. I signed a contract. I'm going to fulfill that contract and then see what happens. I mean, that takes a lot of professionalism. Take me through that.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, it's my fault. They can write whatever they want in the contract. If I sign it, it's all my fault. Like it's not really anything I can do about it. So I just man up and deal with it. A lot of people are complaining about it, and oh, this shouldn't happen like that. Like at the end of the day, you got to read the contract, or whoever is representing you has to read it. And if they don't, then that's a problem that you have to deal with your management. But other than that, it's done. No hard feelings with the promotion, King of the Cage. They always treated me well. They treated my family well. They always put us in a nice hotel and everything. So other than that, it's all good, and ready to represent my country.
Well, absolutely. A year later, you're here, so it all worked out for the best. Tell fans who don't know a lot about you what they can expect from you. You're undefeated. They see an undefeated record. They see you. What can they expect? What can they be excited for?
Expect the unexpected. Sometimes I get in there, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'll wrestle. I'll strike. So there's lots of things going on. I'm able to mix it up a lot more. A lot of people look at my fights and say, "Oh, he's just a wrestler," but in reality, I never wrestled in high school, or I didn't wrestle in university. It's just being able to mix everything up that makes everything work well. Putting my striking together, and my jiu-jitsu. I compete in the world championships. So I have some good experience, and it'd be pretty bad to underestimate me.
Absolutely. And so your opponent, Mike Breeden, he's 8-2. He's on a 3-fight win streak. He's coached under James Krause. What are you expecting from him? What's your team expecting from him?
has the exact same as me. Like it's tough. We're two guys who are dominant in our local promotions. We're both able to mix it up. So it's training for everything. Training for him being able to take me down and getting up from there. It's me knocking him down and working my jiu-jitsu on top. So we're fighting for our dream. And when someone has or when someone's standing in front of your dream, like you gotta stop whatever they're gonna do. So you have to really make sure you're prepared, and I'm ready for fireworks.
And how long has this been a dream for you? I mean, what got you into this sport? Tell us a little background on your young life and what got you into here.
Yeah, it was probably when I was like 12 or 13 years old. I watched one of my first UFCs. It was Anderson Silva and Patrick Cote. And I did Taekwondo and stuff like that, and then I transitioned to Jiu-Jitsu after I saw that fight, and I wanted to get a little bit better at my self-defense. I'm sure everyone has seen my old interviews that I got into the sport because of my parents wanting me to be able to defend myself. So yeah, I just got really, I guess you can say, addicted to it. It became like a lifestyle, and now that I can be a professional athlete, I want to be one of the best professional athletes in the sport.
Absolutely. And so when you go and you sign this contract for a Contender Series and you're there in August, as an undefeated fighter, as someone fighting for his dream, do you feel like with Dana watching, you need that finish, or is that something you can't worry about here in the lead up?
I think that's something you should always try to do every fight, not just because Dana White's watching. You got to always try to perform, entertain the crowd, also keep yourself safe, which is really important. But yeah, you always got to impress. You got to be noticed and put on the map. So Uncle Dana can give me the contract.
Absolutely. So, what are your thoughts on the UFC cards that have happened? We've pretty much been gifted with a card every week, sometimes twice a week. Obviously, especially in your division, there's been some crazy stuff happening. Dustin Poirier with his huge win against Hooker the other day. Justin Gaethje beating Tony Ferguson. I mean, take us through that. Just what have you thought about the cards overall and some of the biggest wins?
It's I'm so happy with it. It's really entertaining, especially at this time where everybody is going through tough times, right? Like you said, things are starting to open up, but I think sports are a big part of people's lives. So the only unfortunate part is all these fights. They're great fights, but there's no crowd, so you don't get that energy, that feel of how entertaining it actually is. People will watch it, like just regular viewers will watch it and they'll just think it's normal. But when you hear the crowd in the background just cheering on these guys, it's really motivating to those guys. And I'm sure like it could even be 10 times better if the crowd is behind them, giving them a lot of energy, oohing and ahhing every shot. So that's the only thing that's missing. But I'm so happy that they're entertaining fights.
Absolutely, and the only piece that I completely agree with you with the crowd makes the fight that much better. The only piece that I love about the no crowd is that you can hear every punch. Just like hearing those punches that Hooker and Poirier were putting on each other was, I don't know how either were standing. So now here you are a month later, you're going to be in that spot. You're going to be in that spot where there's no sports on, there's no hockey, there's no football, there's no baseball. You're going to be there where everyone's watching.
Yeah, it's an honor to be able to put on a show for everyone watching at home. If we're lucky, maybe things will change a little bit and get some people to get in there and watch at that time. But if not, it's going to be exciting. The fight's going to be the same regardless. I have a goal. The goal is not changing. So I'm fighting for that dream.
Absolutely. And last question for me, will this training camp be any different? Have you and your team ramped things up? Is anything different, or is this just another fight, another win on the record? Just get in there.
Yeah, it's just another fight. There's no need to put in that the added pressure. I can talk about it after. Just kind of look back at it, I guess. But right now, I'm not really staring at the lights. I don't want to be the deer in the headlights, and then next thing you know, the car hits you, and then you realize what happens, right? So yeah, I'm excited, just like another fight. I'm preparing like it's the last fight of my life, and it's going to be the best one for sure.
Absolutely, Anthony. Thank you very much. Wishing you the absolute best on Contender Series. Good luck in the lead up, and good luck on Fight Night, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.